One thing about these dudes is that they love to sell dreams. I don't know why they like selling dreams, but I'm not buying any of them. Hey guys, it's Jet. So today's video is on discernment in dating. In this video, I'll be talking about how to vet men while you're dating, giving some advice, some tips, and also just sharing a few experiences I've endured while dating. Let's just get right into it. So as always, I'm going to give the definition of some of these words because, you know, we need a definition for us to understand. So the word discernment, the ability to perceive, understand, and judge things clearly, especially those that are not obvious or straightforward. Vet. We're not talking about the cute doctors for the animals. The verb sense of vet. To make a careful and critical examination of something. To screen, to analyze, or to evaluate. So think of vetting kind of like an interview process. Interview process while dating? What? Yeah. And think of discernment as an understanding. So the first tip I have for vetting men and using discernment while dating is to limit your time with men. The more time you spend with a man, the more you will become attached to him. Because unfortunately, that's just how human nature works. Even if you don't like a guy at first, the more time you spend with him, the more you will start to develop feelings for him. You know, quite often we hear about these stories of women getting abused or treated badly, and you're like, why would you stay with him? Like, the more time the woman was in that relationship, the more attached to that man she became. And once you're attached to something, it's hard to let go. This is why I think it's very important that when you start seeing red flags, especially those red flags that are just too bizarre, as well as those red flags that can cause harm to you, you should dip immediately. The longer you stay and the more time you spend with him, the more you will become invested in him. Because spending time with men causes you to develop deeper feelings for them, I think it's very important for women to spend time with men that are deserving of their time. So you do not want to spend time with a guy that you know is not good for you, a guy that's cheating on you all the time. Definitely not a guy who's abusive. Definitely, that's just hell no. And also a guy that you know really doesn't want anything serious with you, if that's what you're looking for. Also, a pointer of this too is that men know that the longer women spend time with them, the longer that woman will become attached to them. Men know this. Men aren't as stupid as we think they are, you know. Because we're women and we're nurturers and we are made to carry children, we have more of a higher intuition than men. But aside from that, men are not dumb. We don't give them enough credit. They are very smart people. They use our emotions to manipulate us. And that leads us into our next topic. When you're dating, it's best to use logic over emotion. And what I mean by that is logic is pretty much just straightforward facts. You're using your brain, you know, knowledge that you know is true. Emotion, strictly feelings. Although feelings are important, feelings are not facts. For example, a woman who is being abused can be like, but I love him. That's your feeling. But the fact is that he's not good for you. See what I'm saying? So it's very important to lead with logic. Women were more emotional than men, so it's really hard sometimes, and men know this. The thing about it is that men know we're more emotional than them. So they use it to manipulate us. And because women are more emotional, our emotions overpower our intellect. You do not want to lead your dating life with emotion. You want men to earn your emotions. Leading with emotion can be very dangerous because emotion blurs your vision and also will cause you to dismiss a lot of red flags. Even if you don't dismiss the red flags because you're emotionally invested, it will be hard for you to separate yourself from that guy. The next category, what to do on a first date. First date tips. First and foremost, I believe that you should be as honest as possible on a first date. Being honest will naturally eliminate those who are not meant for you, those who cannot meet your needs, and those who are not enough for you. Although you're being super honest, narcissistic men will often use your honesty to morph into your ideal man, which is why I do not believe in telling men what your ideal man is. Just be honest about who you are, because that will just kind of scare some men away. But a narcissist will still try his hardest. The thing about narcissists is that they're still gonna try. So, you know, but at least the other guys that are narcissists that just aren't worthy of you will kind of eliminate themselves. And due to all these guys that are out here just like lying and portraying to be somebody they're not, I don't think you should trust everything a man is saying on the first date. You know, be honest so you can tell him who you are. But when he's telling you who he is, you know, just kind of take it as a grain of salt. Definitely take the information in because not everybody's gonna be lying. Again, some people are actually honest guys. Not every guy is horrible. Some guys are actually gonna be honest with you, so you can use that information. But always in the back of your mind, know that they could be lying. But I think we all know this by now. Never 100% trust a man because they're just gonna embarrass you. Carrying on with first date tips, keep in mind that the small things that bother you in the beginning will most likely be the things that become larger issues as time progresses. Because vetting is an evaluation, think of the first day as like an interview. Not just the first day, I think pretty much the beginning of the relationship is definitely an interview. On the first date, ask a lot of questions. So many people are just there for the food. I mean, I love to take myself out to eat, so I don't need a man to take me out to eat. The type of questions you want to ask will definitely be about his life. Ask questions about his family dynamic, how he was raised, his household, where he was raised, his career, job choice, past, present, and future, his hobbies, if he has kids, and if he does, ask about the relationship that he has with the child's mother, or if it's plural, mothers. But honestly, if it's plural, just run, because asking questions in the beginning is so important, because also when you do ask those questions again down the line, if you have good memory, you can tell if they're lying. Because sometimes guys will tell you something the first date, and then as time progresses, they start changing up the story a little bit. Always take note of that. This is the vetting process that will aid in your discernment of this man. But as always, you will never fully know a guy until you start to spend more one-on-one time with him in different environments and, you know, have that personal conversation and bond. So always just keep note of that. My next tip, value actions over words. One thing about these dudes is that they love to sell dreams. I don't know why they like selling dreams, but I'm not buying any of them. I hate when guys promise things that never come true. Like, please stop. Find you something else to do. Never value what a man says he will do. Only acknowledge what he actually does. Unfortunately, nothing a guy says he's going to do is important compared to what he actually shows you up front for you to see. You know, like, you know, I love my ears. I'm a huge fan of my ears. I think I have cute ears, but I love my eyes more. You know, I want to see. Show me something. Like I said, how he treats you is all that matters. And also, inconsistent good treatment is still bad treatment. Because why are you choosing when to be good to me? That hot and cold treatment is manipulative and also causes psychological abuse. Like, no. And also, I'm not saying every man's a narcissist, but a lot of narcissistic guys do that. They do the hot and cold treatment. You only want to be with somebody who is going to consistently treat you well. Of course, people have their bad days when you're arguing, stuff like that. Even then, how a guy treats you when you guys are not on good terms says a lot about him and his character. And this directly ties into the next tip. Consistency is everything. Most men will give you the best treatment in the beginning. You know, it's like a fairy tale world. You know, that's how the dream selling starts. So never get caught up in how a guy is treating you when you first meet him. Always take note of that, of course. If he's treating you horribly when you first meet him, he's definitely going to treat you 10 times worse. But even if he's treating you well in the beginning, don't get too used to it, because the real him will come down the line. Men put on their best act in the beginning, so don't get caught up in that. However, a real man who cares for you and wants to establish a real relationship and a good bond and wants to treat you well forever, or as long as you guys are together, will always continue to be consistent in how good he treats you. Whether it's the first date or the 80th date or the 20th year, you know, they're going to be consistent. And consistent effort shows that you're a priority in his life. So you want to be a priority in your man's life, I hope. I know some girls are okay with like the little bare minimum treatment, but nah. You want to be a priority in his life, because he's supposed to be your boo. Like, show me some love, damn. And the last tip I have is, I don't even know if I'm allowed to like say some of these things on YouTube, so I don't know. It's like a sexual reference. I didn't want to touch too much on this topic because I know, you know, everybody's different. Everybody has different dynamics. You know, some people have slept together the first night and they're together for the next 80 years, you know, so everything is different. But the thing about it is that hypersexual men, especially on the first date, are that way with everybody they meet. Every girl they meet, maybe even every man they meet, if, you know, some guys go both ways, who knows, you know, they are that way. So I wouldn't take a guy like that serious, and I would think he's kind of just using me for that aspect of who I am, you know, my body, whatever. If you can and if you want to, like I said, we all have a choice here. The longer you hold off sexually would be best, because you'll be able to see if he's really interested in you as a person, your mindset and stuff like that. But even then, some guys will not do anything sexual with you for months and months, and then as soon as they get that cookie, they ghost. Like, so like I said, this is all not a one size fits all matter. It's just use discernment, you know, figure it out. If I'm actually super interested in a guy, I would try to hold off. I would try to hold off, especially if you don't know if he's a good person. If you know he's a good person, then maybe, you know, if you're feeling it, like, hey, ride it. But if you don't know, then just try your hardest to get to know him on a deeper level, and then you could bring in the sexy time. You want to be desired for who you are overall as a person, not just what you could do for a man sexually. And most importantly, always use protection, especially when you guys are first dating. You know, these men are, you know, men and women, some of the girls are on that time, they're dirty. So wrap up, because you don't know what these people have. Be safe. You know, it's your life, it's your body. Do what you want to do, but keep that in mind. Google is free, so always see what safety protection options you have as a woman. Female condoms, there are some pills for certain potential high-risk diseases you could take afterwards, you know. Oh, you know, Google's our friend. And yeah, those are just some of my tips for that. And in relation to this, the type of guys I just would never date: professional athletes, entertainers, or rappers, people of that matter. I've dated a few and I hated the experience. When I'm committed, so I do not like men who are like, yeah, like, I need you to be doing this, and they're doing their own thing. I hate that. I would never take an athlete or a rapper serious, especially since we know how crazy Holly Weird is. I'm not gonna put anybody's name in this video. Some of these people are definitely into weird things. I'm not even trying to say too much because I feel like I'm gonna get this video like banned and deleted, but some of these entertainers, they do not give me vibes that they're straight. Especially when you actually start dating them, it's giving. And then now we know all these things that are coming out of these celebrities and stuff like that. Yeah, some of these guys are definitely on the fence or just pretending. And on top of that, they have all these women after them for their status, their fame, their money. So not only are you dealing with girls coming to you as a woman or girls trying to take your man or whatever, but you're also dealing with the fact that he might be doing things with some of his friends, some of his pals, these executives, things of that matter. And also the thing about entertainers and athletes is that they're always away, going away for stuff. And you know when a guy is away, like, what is he doing? You don't really know. So if you're the type of woman who you do not deal with cheating, those type of men are, not everybody's a Steph Curry. You know, if you have a Steph Curry, you're blessed. Or Russell Wilson, yes. Or I'm trying to think of those are like the only people I can think of that don't cheat. You see, there aren't many of them. You know, most of them are just cheating. So those type of guys, I would never, ever again. I'm like, oh, your concert's coming up, let me get a ticket, you know. But other than that, no. If you're a type of committed woman who actually values love and you want it to be sincere, those type of guys I would avoid. I would avoid all those playboys, those guys where you just know they're flirting with everybody. I would avoid men who fear commitment, because what? Like, they're gonna play all day long until they're old. And once they start balding, that's when they're gonna want to settle down. Like, I don't want you when you're a hot mess, you know what I'm saying? I avoid men with a lot of baby mamas because it's like, if they didn't take the mother of their children serious, why would they take you serious, you know, long term? Especially if they have multiple baby mamas. Like, no, I'm okay. Thanks, let's be friends, or just disappear out of my life. I don't even care if we're friends. And also, this ties back into the vetting discernment process. In the beginning of the dating process, if I can tell a guy doesn't really know who he is, if he's not 100% sure of himself yet, then I'm okay. Like, you're not the one for me. Because a guy who is not sure of himself does not fully love himself. If a guy doesn't fully love himself, he will never be able to fully love you. It's just impossible. But yeah, these are just the key tips I have for using discernment while you're dating. How to vet men, what to prioritize when you're dating, because some people kind of just go into it, you know, with their hearts on their sleeves, and we're women. We are women. I might not look like I'm super emotional, but I am. But when the guy deserves my emotions, I don't just go around like, hey, I just met you today, I love you. Hey, I just met you, I love you. No. Even the love of my life, y'all see it. He knows, he'll tell y'all, like, I was playing games in the beginning. I wasn't playing games, but I was just like scouting him out, because I'm like, he's telling me he loves me. I'm just like, I don't know. Prove it. Always make the man prove it, ladies. You're too amazing. You're too beautiful to just kind of give them your all without them earning you. Okay, that's all I have to say for this video. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.